Good evening, everyone, and thanks for logging on to bamchase.net. Time right now is about 5:40 on Tuesday, June 3rd, and we're going to talk about the severe weather that's ongoing in the Central Plains this evening and the potential for severe weather here tomorrow. This video forecast is brought to you by the DWC Roofing Company. Give them a call at 882-3500, mention BAM, and receive $250 off full roof replacement. So the Storm Prediction Center has issued a rare high risk, and what that means is basically there's a very high potential for damaging winds in excess of 80 miles per hour, hail that can exceed 2.5 inches in diameter, and possibly even tornadoes. The focus for that is going to be over southern Iowa, eastern Nebraska, and northern portions of Missouri. Now see here how this storm has already taken what looks to be like a bow shape. As this storm progresses to the east and to the southeast right through this area, it will become what we call a progressive derecho, which means it's going to create a wind damage swath here that's rather wide, but it's going to be more long. The damage will be longer than it will be in width, if that makes sense. So this storm will begin to progress off to the east and southeast, and it's going to have a major impact on our forecast tomorrow. What type of severe weather are we going to see? When are we going to see it? It's all going to be dependent on this system and what it actually ends up doing. Now here is the latest, excuse me, the latest severe storms forecast for tomorrow. Obviously, the greatest potential for severe weather would be inside the red circle here and inside the black circle. So kind of an enhanced severe weather risk for the southern portion of the state. Places like Terre Haute, Evansville, Louisville, Bedford, Columbus, Seymour, Richmond, even including the city of Indianapolis. They may be on the northern fringe of it, but basically from I-70 south, we'll run the risk of some damaging thunderstorms tomorrow. So let's get right into what we're talking about for the risk of severe weather for tomorrow. And we're going to go over to our NAM forecast model, our high-resolution WRF forecast model for tomorrow. And the first thing I want to show you is the simulated radar product for tomorrow morning. Now, you're going to see where that storm system is coming out of Iowa into portions of Illinois, and you're going to kind of watch how it wants to progress east. And you see, as it does get closer, it does start to fade away with some time as it gets into Indiana, but we still will be looking at rain and thunderstorms in the morning. Now, as we progress throughout the day, what's going to happen is the skies are going to start clearing up a little bit, perhaps, especially in the southern portion of the state. And as we get closer to that 2 and 3 p.m. time frame, we're going to start watching severe storms develop, especially right over the central portion of the state. This is by 4 p.m. tomorrow. As we take it to 5 p.m., you see some supercellular-like thunderstorms developing, maybe even a little bit of a Boeing segment type storm here developing, and eventually it will come together into somewhat of a line or a QLCS, quasi-linear type setup, but there will be Boeing segments within this setup. Now, keep in mind, guys, if we can get the destabilization to occur here, basically if we can get the sunshine to come out in the afternoon for the portions of southern Indiana, the Storm Prediction Center may likely upgrade us into a moderate risk for severe weather. And it's going to be for damaging winds and large hail, and also the potential for tornadoes. The heavy rain's obviously going to be there under any thunderstorm. But one thing we're noting tomorrow is there's going to be decent, powerful updrafts. There's going to be strong updrafts which can support the development of the hail and the rotating thunderstorms. You see, as we continue to take this forward, this is a parameter here that kind of detects the updraft, the strength of the updraft, and you can see it kind of tracks right over the central portion of the state and maybe even down through eastern Indiana. We can't pinpoint specifically exactly where this occur, but we know is what we can tell you is that it gives us a general idea that these storms down here are going to be rather impressive. Okay, when looking at the overall setup, okay, we look at something called 0 to 1 kilometer, or energy helicity index, and basically it's a combination of things. To make it simple, it's an index that can help us determine where the stronger storms and perhaps rotating thunderstorms would occur, perhaps producing that tornadic potential. So the high resolution model tomorrow is very suggestive to something occurring right here in the central portion of the state. Again, something we're going to continue to monitor. And when we talk about timing, it's going to be from that 3 p.m. time frame tomorrow all the way until tomorrow evening, probably around the 9 p.m. time frame. You see by 9 o'clock tomorrow night, that storm system is south of the Ohio River and will start to get in on a northeast wind and drier air and cooler temperatures. Tomorrow night, some locations north of Indianapolis may even be getting down into the 40s for overnight low temperatures. I'll show you the forecasted lows here as we get into Thursday morning, and I can show you, where the cooler weather will obviously be coming into from the north and from the east. But again, guys, we'll be looking at the potential for the damaging thunderstorms to occur between the hours of basically 3 p.m. and again the 9 p.m. time frame. Damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes are all going to be a possibility. You see, look at that, see some of those upper 40s showing their way into the forecast low 50s by Thursday morning. So we'll show you the risk area again one more time, and we'll have an update tomorrow with the latest severe storms forecast. Again, all of southern, south central Indiana, southern Ohio, northern Kentucky. It's possible we get upgraded to a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms. We'll have to wait and see if we clear out tomorrow. If the sun does decide to shine, then we could have an active day tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. All right, so your latest Brown's Tree Service 5-day forecast. Nicer weather, obviously, coming after this storm system. Nice on Thursday. That's pleasant on Friday. And Saturday, most of the day will be dry. PM thunderstorms Saturday and possibly AM storms on Sunday.